With the release of the Fujifilm X-S10, shooting in Fuji log has become more accessible than ever. Now, grading log footage may seem intimidating at first, especially for those only starting out doing video production and color grading. So today I want to share 3 quick and easy ways of how I grade Fujifilm F-log footage, and I'll show you how you can easily turn your log footage into usable and vivid footage in about 30 seconds. The first method is what I call the lazy LUT method. You start by just adding your footage to your timeline, and then you can just add the official Eterna LUT to a corrector node. I will have a download link for this LUT in the description below. After applying the LUT, we can see that the footage is very much usable as is, and it didn't take much work. People who use Eterna often up their contrast slightly and add a bit of saturation. We can also change the temperature to taste. Here I am making the color temperatures just slightly cooler, and now we have our final graded footage. The second method I use to grade my footage takes out the need for LUTs entirely. For this, we do more complex color grading, and it might take you a while to do at first, but I promise you that after you get some practice doing it, you will be able to grade your footage super fast. We start again with our clip on our timeline, and on our first corrector node on the colors tab, we push the saturation way up and play around with the contrast. I usually just set my contrast to around 1.4. Now this scene is supposed to be an evening shot, so I use the offset control to pull the offset slightly down. Let's compare with the original. Next, I want to make the orange in the headlights pop. How I do this is by adding a new corrector node, then on the curve section, I look for the hue versus saturation tab. Then I select something orange on screen, then we can see how we can push and pull saturation. We can then decide how we want this scene to look. I'll keep it subtle and push the orange just slightly up. Now I feel that the grays are a little bit dull. They're actually a shade of blue, and what we can do is we can push the saturation of that just a tiny bit more. Now, to really draw focus to the headlights, we can darken some of the parts that might not be important to the scene. For this, I want to make a vignette effect. To do this, we add a third corrector node, then we can create a power window. For this example, I'm using a circular power window. We can resize it any way we want to target the middle part of the scene. But it is very important to click on this option. This option makes it so that the effect we're making will affect the parts outside of the power window. Then we can just darken the power window any way we want. For my example here, I am dropping the curves. We have achieved a vignette effect, which gives more emphasis to the headlights passing in our scene. After a quick review, I thought that the footage looked a little bit warm, so I adjusted the color temperature just a slight bit cooler. Here we have our final grade for this scene. Let's discuss my third method. Now here is a clip I used in my Getting Started with Log video. The link for that is in the description below. We first start the same way as how we did the first method by dragging the Eterna LUT onto our first corrector node. But instead of pushing contrast and saturation like how we did in the first method, we make use of the built-in film looks of DaVinci Resolve. We do this by adding another corrector node. Of course, we connect our lines, then we pick out a film look. Now these film looks function very much like LUTs, so we can just drag any of these to the new corrector node we just made. We notice that the saturation and contrast are way too pushed, and that's fine. To fix this, we just go to our key tab and play around with the key input. I like to use 0.7 on my clips. Then we play around with the contrast and we get it to where we feel looks best. For this clip, 0.65 looks great to me. And just with that, we have fully graded our Fuji F-log footage. I hope this video helped you with grading your Fuji F-log footage. In a future video, I want to talk about my Fujifilm X-S10 settings. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button to stay updated for when that video becomes available. I'll see you next time.